everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Sharon and this is a channel that is dedicated to all things related to narcissism. I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on all types of topics related to narcissism. So if you haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. I would really appreciate it if you gave the video a thumbs up. It's a free way you can help me out. And definitely don't forget to leave a comment because I like to read what you have to say. In today's video, I'm going to discuss one of the ugly realities that you will encounter after you end a relationship, or as I typically say, an entanglement with a toxic individual, with a narcissist. They will almost certainly seek revenge. They will want to destroy you and cause you as much pain as possible. A narcissist will stop at nothing to destroy you. An unstable, angry, and humiliated person without empathy, without an ability to see reality, and without any morals can be dangerous. Before I get too far into the video, though, I want to give you an update on what's going on with my divorce. For those of you that don't know, I officially left my narcissistic ex on Christmas Eve. Prior to that, we had been separated for 2 full years. We hadn't lived together at all. We have 2 children together, and he has not seen these children for close to 2 years. He's had 0 contact. This is going to be important for what I'm going to say in a minute. He's had 0 contact, and that goes to everything. He doesn't even get them a card or a gift on their birthday, no text. They're literally 0, nothing. So when we left, when we left, I had spoken to an attorney. I had left the state, and she told me because I was leaving the state, I couldn't file for divorce for a month. I wanted to file for divorce and have the paperwork ready to go when I left. She told me I needed to wait a month to prove to any future judge that my ex isn't concerned with the kids leaving the state. That was fine. Well, I should say fine. That was fine. It worked out because he didn't ask for them. He didn't care. He hasn't been pestering me about them. However, I was having trouble after the month. I couldn't get in touch with my attorney. I had mentioned last week that I was ready. After a month, I was counting down the days. I wanted to get this paperwork going, and I was having trouble getting in touch with her. She would not get back to me, so I was waiting 2 weeks. Finally, she got back to me, and we spoke on Monday, and I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute. Prior to that, though, during the 2 weeks when I was trying to get her to get in touch with me, suddenly I heard from my ex. So he just popped up out of the blue. He sent me an email. He does not have my phone number, so he can't contact me through phone or text. My lawyer advised me only to contact him through email, so we had a record of everything. So the 2 days after I left, so the day after Christmas, I sent him an email, and in the email, I told him I left, I told him I had the kids, I told him where we were. Now, I didn't give him my exact address, but I did tell him the name of the town and state we were in. He knew this. He did not ask one thing about the kids. He wanted to know about the dog, but he said nothing about the kids. In fact, he said he accepted it. There was no, are the kids okay? How are they? Can I talk to them? Nothing. So over a month goes by, and then suddenly I get this email from him. And in the email, he's telling me that he's very worried about the kids, suddenly. Where are they? He doesn't know where they are. I took them. I've kept him from the kids. Nobody's allowed to talk to the kids, just me. Basically he was saying that he didn't know if they were even in school. He didn't know if they were safe. My word means nothing when it comes to the kids. He wants to know where they are. He wanted to know exactly where it was. And he wanted to find out that they were in school, that I hadn't harmed them. So my lawyer advised me, first of all, I reiterated to him that I did tell him where I was. I reminded him that he does know where they are, that the kids are not kept from anybody except people they don't want to talk to, which is him and his parents and my parents. And I'm going to get into that in the video as well. My kids are in touch with everybody else they want to talk to. They have a full, they can do whatever they want, essentially, when it comes to socializing. What he says isn't accurate, but he doesn't know anyways because he hasn't spoken to them for 2 years. So I had to have my kids send him a video. And that was horrible. We left for real reasons. My ex has traumatized my children and I. He's stalked us. He's broken into the house before. He's dangerous. He's been in a mental hospital. I believe he tried to kill my kids and I one time. He was caught with a loaded gun outside my house. It's been horrible. He was shipped off to a mental hospital when that happened. We're afraid of him. He's a big guy. He's very scary. He's very intimidating. So we had to leave. He was trying to back me into a corner. I didn't have a choice. It wasn't even so much that I left. I escaped. It was horrible. I mean, leaving the state like we did was not a fun thing. It was not what I wanted to do. I didn't have a choice. My kids both had PTSD, particularly my daughter. So for them to have to do a video, it was horrible. But I have to say, they both did it, and they did a good job. They're okay. In the video, they basically told him that where they are, that they're in school, that they're safe, they want to be here, and it's their choice not to talk to him. That's what it is. Since I sent him the videos, I haven't heard a word from him. Nothing, not one thing. So I don't know if he is upset because of this video or if he is, plotting more revenge towards me. I don't know. But I do know that he hasn't gotten back in touch with me after that. The video kind of ended that. So that was about a week ago. And I did finally hear back from my attorney, and I spoke with her on Monday. So hopefully, God willing, he will get the papers next week. There's a few things I need to do related to the paperwork, which I'm going to do today. So let me tell you, I'm going to tell you what the plan is for the divorce, and I'm really interested what you think, because I think that this is fair. Joe thinks I'm being too fair. So you tell me your thoughts on this. I'll tell you first, I'll tell you what I'm entitled to. Legally, I am entitled to half of the house, 10 years of alimony, child support, and half of his retirement. So, any money that we have, that type of thing, I'm entitled to half of it. So what I'm asking for is, instead of asking for half the house, what we're doing is my lawyer thinks it's best for me to just ask for a set amount. So we paid $447,000 for the house in 2014. The town has assessed the house at, I can't remember now if it was $600 or $650, but it was in that range. But I'm going to tell you, there's no way the house will sell for that. And we owe $330 on the house, $330,000 on the house. There's no way we're going to get $650 for the house. The house is not in good condition. First off, it needs a new roof, which is $25,000 right there. On top of that, we have extensive water damage in the house. Now, I mentioned in other videos, I believe the water damage is demonic activity. And I get it. Like, I know some of you are like, are you kidding me? What a kook. And I get it. I would have felt that way too prior to the things happening that have happened. I didn't grow up with religion. This isn't something that I easily believe in. But I do believe in God, and I do believe that narcissists are tied to demonic activity, whether they know it or not. We had water damage in the house. Water was coming from all over the place. We had so many people over the house trying to figure out what the problem was. Roofer, general contractor, plumber. We had people over trying to determine this water. Nobody could determine where the water was coming from. It would pool up around my ex's desk. And it stunk too. It smelled like urine all around his desk. It was disgusting. We had to rip up the carpet there. Downstairs, it's hardwood floors. Some of the floor areas are gray from the water damage. It would seep out of the walls. It would just drip down the walls. I had a general contractor come over to try to figure it out. He cut holes in the wall where the water was coming out because he saw the water too. We were trying to figure out what the heck was behind the wall. We thought there must have been some pipe or something. There was literally nothing behind the wall, but it did leave holes in the wall. So there's holes in the wall. The hardwood floor needs to be replaced. It's in terrible condition because of the water damage. Now, when my ex left, now first I didn't think it was demonic activity for a long time. Once he left, I started realizing this, or I started believing this, and I prayed over every single room in that house. There was never another drop of water, not one. We had water for a long time, over a year, pooling up everywhere. And this was when my ex was really starting to get bad. For a long time, I feel like, I was going to say his narcissism lay dormant. It wasn't that it lay dormant because he was giving me silent treatments and there were problems throughout the marriage, but it got really bad in the last couple of years. And that's when we started having the water. And when he left, I prayed and it went away. So I believed that it was demonic. I just do. But for the point of the video, there's damage in the house that's going to take from the value of it. We also have four acres of yard, but really probably most of it's the woods. It's about an acre and a half of grass. And we have an underground sprinkler system. My ex destroyed it in two ways. First off, he ran over with the mower, all like the heads of the sprinklers. That's probably a somewhat easy fix, but they're all gone. And on top of that, he refused to spend the money because he was $100,000 in debt. He refused to spend the money to have somebody like blow out the air from them. So they're damaged. The underground sprinkler system needs to be completely replaced. Not that you necessarily need that when you buy a house, but it's part of the house that's not there. So somebody buying the house is going to be interested in that. That's going to be a problem. The yard is also a disaster area because when he left, it was just my 13-year-old son and I trying to take care of the yard. I didn't have money to hire a landscaper. I mean, it was basically we mowed the lawn. So it's weeds. It's not good. I live in a nice neighborhood and it looks bad. It's horrible. It was an embarrassment. The driveway needs to be redone. I was living in that house by the skin of my teeth for the last few years. So now that I don't live there anymore and, we have to get rid of it, I'm not going to get that value for it. The house isn't going to sell for $650. So what my lawyer and I did was we decided what the house maybe will sell for. So we basically said $500,000 is what we're saying, minus what we owe on the house and divide that in half. So that's what I want. He can deal with the rest. If it sells for more, he has that. I'm doing that without asking for alimony. So no alimony, just that. I am asking for child support because I have 2 children that he stole money from. He took money from my kids' bank accounts. He robbed them. He stole their money. So they're owed that. I want him to replace that. So I do want child support, but I'm not asking for alimony and I'm not asking him to help pay for college because I don't want anything else to do with him. I am asking for half his retirement, but these are things that are mine during the marriage. Of course, he took money out of his retirement. I don't know what's in there. There's probably $5,000 in there. So I'll be lucky if I get a couple hundred really from his retirement, but still that's owed me. Like that's mine. Just like the house is mine. And like he stole money from my kids. I'm asking what's ours. What I really want from him is my freedom. That's what I want. I'm not trying to get rich off this divorce. I want my freedom. That's what I truly want. So tell me, I think this is fair. Joe thinks that I should ask for alimony. But, I said to him, I have pride, not extensive pride, but I want my freedom. I don't want anything from him. I just want him to give me my freedom on what's already mine. I don't want to have to deal with him for 10 years. Like I just want to be free. Now, if he counters and says, no, he won't do it, or he'll give me $1,000 or something stupid like that, I will say I want alimony. But that's what I'm asking for. So tell me your thoughts on that because I really want to know what you think I should do. So I'm going to fill out this paperwork and hopefully next week it'll be filed to him and we can get moving on this. God, that should bring a lot more videos, but I hope he just accepts it. I don't know. I don't think he's going to because after all, he is a narcissist, and narcissists don't handle divorce well, but I'm praying. So if any of you pray, please pray for me. I should also say, forgot about this. I also asked him for the kids fully. They don't want, and granted my daughter's 18, so it doesn't matter. But for my son, he doesn't want to see his father. He can if he wants to. I'm not keeping him from him. This is his choice. My ex has done a lot of damage. He's scared my son. He's broken into the house. He's seen his father pulled off by the cops. He's heard his father file a false police report against me. He saw his father abusing himself. He saw his father smashing his head against the wall. He's seen a lot of things. He doesn't want anything to do with his father, and I do support that. I don't believe that children need to see their parent under any circumstance. Under all circumstances. He's been hurt bad, and I'm trying to help my children recover and have a good, happy childhood, a productive life. And I don't believe that they need to have their father involved to do that. If things change, I am willing to let my son see him if that's what he chooses. But my son doesn't want to, and I do support this. So that was another thing. He doesn't get visitation with the kids. So into today's video. Basically, in today's video, I'm going to talk about a smear campaign. For a narcissist, everything is black and white, life and death. For us, leaving a narcissist is a triumph. And in my case, and in many others, it's a miracle. Narcissists are toxic scumbags, and they've twisted and broken us into submission by their cruelty and abuse. They've turned us into the equivalent of a terrified animal, cowering in our cage. They've used us for supply to support their ego, their superiority. They've fed off of our pain. We aren't allowed to leave. If we do, expect retribution. Now, one of the ways a narcissist will do this is with a smear campaign or rewriting history. They turn you into someone you aren't. And then the narcissist has done two things. One, they've hurt us. And two, they feed off of the supply they get when somebody else believes them. It's a game for a narcissist. They do not go quietly into the night. They loudly rewrite history and declare their victimhood to as many people as possible. Nothing is too far for a narcissist. So let's talk a little bit about what that looks like and what you can do. A narcissist will want to paint you into the most evil, vile, despicable, backstabbing person possible. And of course, the narcissist is a kind, loving, empathetic person who is trying to handle you, who are just out of control. One of the things my ex has done is he has actually convinced. Now, when it comes to, there's like two sets of people. There is our small family, which is my in-laws and my parents and my ex. The five of them are like this little group together. And, you know, this is a sick group because we have, so there's the three men, you know, men in quotes, and the two women. So there's my ex-father-in-law, and my father. So we have those guys, and then my mother and my ex-mother-in-law, the codependents. They're all ganging up on me and the kids. So essentially, they have turned me into a vile, evil creature who had no right to leave, that they believe I should be arrested. So they've gone so far as to turn me into somebody who left for no reason. My ex has turned himself into, well, I am just trying to make myself better. I'm going to AA. I'm trying to improve my life. She took the kids away from me. She won't let me see the kids. I am a complete victim. I wasn't stalking her. I was just checking up to make sure everything was okay on the house. That's all that I was doing. I don't know why she's so afraid. Yes, I went to a mental hospital, but that's because I'm an alcoholic. I have alcoholism. That's what happened. I passed out. I had the gun because I was thinking about harming myself because I was just worried about my children and my wife. And I didn't want to have them be around me when I was so bad. It's because of my own pain. I mean, that's what he's saying. I'm just innocent in this. I didn't steal money from the kids. I borrowed it. Of course, I'm going to pay it back. I borrowed it to try to make things better because, you know, Sharon wouldn't work. She wouldn't work. She was a stay-at-home wife and she wouldn't work. So that put an awful lot of pressure on me. I didn't want to homeschool the kids. I wanted them to go to public school, but she just kept them isolated. That's what she did. And I am a victim of her. Yeah, you know, and the other thing you might not know is that when she called the police and lied to them. She flirted with them. They dragged me out of the house because Sharon, in the midst of the horrific situation, when she was highly agitated and freaking out and scared for her and the kids' safety, when our daughter was in her room with mace ready to harm me, Sharon was flirting with the police. That's what happened. I know I was diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder and likely as a psychopath. All of that is lies. What Sharon did was she convinced the psychiatrist that this was true. It's not true. Of course I'm not that way. I'm a loving, kind, empathetic person. All I want to do is make my family happy. And Sharon left me and she traumatized me. And, you know, she didn't pay the mortgage the last month either. So this is how he's convincing everybody. So for me, I am the villain. Now, people who really know me, my friends, you know, Joe, like people who know me know the truth. It's all lies. And I got to tell you, it's been incredibly frustrating because when something like this happens, your instinct is to want to set everybody right. Listen here, this is the truth. But if you do that, you are playing the game with the narcissist. The reality, you know the truth. I know the truth. And that's all that matters. This is a very difficult situation. It's horrible. But, you know, I was talking to Joe and we were talking about that when we leave, like, so the truth for many of us, all right, is leaving is the most important thing. If you stay, a narcissist will eventually succeed in stealing your soul. So you have to accept up front that you won't escape unscathed. You know, Joe and I were talking the other day, being like with a narcissist is like being caught in a trap. So we're like an animal trapped. And we've all heard of animals who have chewed their own legs off to be free. The animal who does that is desperate to live. If you leave a narcissist, you need to be desperate to live. I told Joe, yeah, I wouldn't want to lose my leg, but I would much rather lose a part of me than all of me. Don't put a lot of hope into a narcissist being civil. Be prepared to leave a part of you behind. I read an article that compared a narcissist to a shark that can't stop moving or it will die. Narcissists are like that. They constantly lie, bully, boast, project, or they will cease to exist. So your freedom is worth more than any of that. It doesn't matter what the narcissist believes anymore. If you have left the narcissist, and it doesn't matter what they're saying, they can say that you are the abusive one, you are cruel, you're a narcissist. It doesn't matter. Getting the strength to leave means you need to have the strength to withstand the fallout, because it's going to be ugly. I hope that when my ex gets these divorce papers, he realizes that I'm being incredibly generous and he can just sign this and be done with it. Narcissists don't play that way. They want to hurt you. They'll say anything. My ex is trying to get me arrested. That's what he ultimately really wants me to be arrested. If he really cared about the kids, there's a couple things I'll tell you. If he really cared about the kids, he would have inquired about them. He wouldn't have demanded, but he wouldn't have come at it telling me basically that I probably harmed the kids. I'm ruining their life. He said I traumatized them by taking them from our home. He wasn't even living in the house. But this is the type of thing. They believe this. It makes them feel good about themselves. They don't have to look at who they really are. In my ex's mind, I'm horrible. I stole the kids and left. He's just an innocent person. That makes him feel good about himself. He's a victim at that point. He's not a victim, but he wants to be, and he convinces himself that he's a victim. A narcissist is somebody who doesn't have the ability to care about anybody else. The other thing about my ex, Joe and I actually got together. He was originally a subscriber to the channel, and about a year ago, I made a video and I was talking about my ex in AA. Now, Joe is in recovery as well. He's in AA. And he sent me, he actually initially wrote a comment telling me that some of the things my ex was saying were not accurate. That led to an email, which led to a phone call. And in the phone call, Joe had said to me, Sharon, somebody who's in AA learned to take responsibility. Somebody who has done the things that he has done, this is what they would really be doing. They would be saying, all right, I understand why you feel the way that you do. I'm trying to recover. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be a better person. If you want to get a divorce, I understand. I'll be fair. I'll be equal. I'll sign what you want. I just want you to know that I'm sorry for the things that I did. That's what somebody who's in recovery would do. My ex is going to come out, and he's already doing it, full steam ahead. I am the abuser. I did this. I did that. So thank God I have police reports. Thank God I called the police and I have documentation of everything. If you're with a narcissist, document everything, because they will try to turn everything around. And while you're stressed out, sometimes you get stressed out and then you end up looking like the crazy one because you feel like you're going crazy trying to defend yourself from absurd lies. And the narcissist, because they don't have any emotions, they can just calmly, geez, look at this. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I have to deal with. So if you're in an entanglement with a narcissist and you leave, expect to have trouble. But remember, keep the goal in mind. Just remember. It's almost like, have you ever trained to run? You're running. Say you're trying to run 5 miles and you're running, and then you'll have little goals for yourself. All right, I got to get up to that tree today, and tomorrow I'm going to go to the next tree, whatever it is. You have to have your goal in mind, your big end goal. Say you want to run a marathon. Okay, here's my goal. I'm going to run in the marathon. But today I'm running to that tree. So take it day by day. Have your ultimate goal. I'm going to run that marathon. I'm going to get out of this stupid marriage. I'm going to end it. I'm going to be free. I'm going to be free no matter what it takes. But today, this is what I'm doing. Take it day by day. You're with somebody who is crazy, but you can't fight them with reality. You have to just have in your mind, what happened, and be willing to lose people that side with the narcissist. My family sides with my ex. I'm not talking to them. I didn't come this far. I've really put up with an awful lot with my ex, and I just want to be free with my kids. I want to live a good life. I want to move on. I want to have a life. I want to be able to live life on my terms. I want to make a difference in the world. I want to be a good person. I don't want to be afraid of my own shadow like when I was with my ex. I want a new life. He can do what he wants. I'm only asking for what is fair. The way that his relationship with the kids is his fault. I support my kids and what they want. If they change their mind later, I'm okay with it. But for right now, this is what they want. They're under my care, under my supervision, and I believe them not being with him is the right thing. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Just remember, if this is you, take time for yourself. Move forward one day at a time, because ultimately you can succeed in doing this and we can all be free. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. I will see you on Friday with another video, and I will keep you updated on anything that goes on with my ex, and I hope everybody stays blessed. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.